What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Husband Podcast. I'm your host, Terry Duran. I got both of my co-hosts on the line with me tonight. I got my man, Jay Babo, in the building. What's good, man?
Not much, man. Looking forward to another great episode for tonight.
But if you haven't already followed us, make sure you are following us on TikTok as well as subscribe to us on YouTube at Hold the Husband Podcast. And if anybody's interested in promotion or advertising with the podcast, you can shoot us a DM on Instagram at Hold the Husband Podcast or shoot us an email at holdthehusbandpodcast@gmail.com. All right, T.
I also got my man, SD. What's good with you?
Nothing, man. I'm just barely making it, but I'm making it. So, hey, man, I want to give a shout out to Brother Soul Productions for always keeping the background audio fresh. And I want to remind you all to donate to the Hold the Husband Podcast on Cash App and PayPal. All right, T.
I want to remind everybody, y'all can catch the audio playback of the podcast every Monday afternoon at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time on thecore94.com. Tonight's episode is titled Make It Make Sense. And we wanted to just kind of have a conversation about how a lot of the advice that is on social media and the internet geared towards men doesn't make any logical sense at all. But y'all know how we do it around here. We like to discuss things that we've seen go viral or have been trending on our timeline. And we got our man Myron from the Fresh and Fit podcast. He dropped a classic clip this week where he caught women with their own logic. Let's take a look.
I just find it very interesting because, like, by your logic, you know what? I'm going to play video games every day. I'm going to smoke weed. I'm going to live in my mom's basement, eat Cheetos, and I deserve a bad bitch. What do y'all niggas think?
You go, King.
I deserve that bad bitch?
Go, King.
Yo, you know what? I'm fucking change it. I'm fucking change it. These bitches better take it. Cheetos, video games,
You guys are delusional.
I'm a bad bitch. Wait, what? Delusional? What was that? Stop the show. What was that?
That's delusional.
Why am I delusional?
Because, like, you're thinking that you're not, like, you're not doing shit with your life, that you're gonna get a bad bitch.
What you did was just like proof.
Oh man, now, bro, her facial expression was she was so pissed off when old girl broke the ranks. But just it's so easy to expose female logic and how hypocritical it is. The fact that she called out how delusional he was when he was clearly trying to prove a point, it's a classic. So shout out to the Fresh and Fit podcast for bringing us that gem. But it's nothing that we don't talk about on a regular basis. The hypocrisy and the delusional standards that women have for men just don't align with real life.
Yeah. And that's why I be trying to tell them, man, to be realistic. To be realistic, not, with themselves and with who they are in the dating world, right? And the type of man that they command in the dating world, because that's important. And we see that a lot of women today, right, like the point he was trying to make, think they can behave how they want, talk how they want, and look however they want to. And they deserve a top tier man regardless of any of those things. And their girlfriends, which is the point they were proving on there, their girlfriends hype them up with this.
Yes,
hey, yeah, you good, girl, you a queen, you this and that, with no accountability for their actions, regardless of what the men want. Even though the men say, we don't want no woman that's a hoe. We don't want a woman that's going outside with her titties out. We want a woman that knows how to act while she's outside, and a woman that's in shape and takes care of her body. They don't care and still get upset when they can't get the men that they want. And that's the delusional part about it. You can't do all of these things and expect to get, especially a top tier guy. You can probably get dick from him.
That's about it.
At best. But outside of that, most of them chicks ain't getting nothing but that and some wings. They might get a 6-piece with some mild sauce on it or something.
From Popeye's
That's
chicken.
about it. That's about it, man. So, Jay, what you think about that?
Just kind of piggyback
What you would say, SD, right? A lot of women tend to overvalue themselves. every woman thinks she deserves a 1% man. Every woman thinks she deserves a 6-figure dude. Every woman thinks she deserves to live in a nice house. You know, a guy get her a Bentley, right? But they're not realistic of where they're really at and what they really qualify for. So, you know, for women, they can go show their thighs, show a titty, and, you know, get a man to watch sleep. But like when he was using women logic, a guy can't just go around flashing dick prints or flashing dick, and it worked the same way for him.
Yeah, I mean, well, there's a big difference between being able to get sex for a guy and being a guy that women view as husband and father material. That actually you walk the walk. You're not having to lie or exaggerate anything about your life. You can talk about your actual career, show a woman where you actually live, what you actually drive, and it's going to be enough for most women. Most women that the guy that like that are see women in his city, he doesn't have any problem attracting women or getting women to date him. And so I think men are just forced to face reality when it comes to dating, because even if you had a homeboy that was lame, that lived with his mom, that like Myra described, don't do nothing but play video games. That's his only skill, is playing 2K or whatever. His homeboys ain't gonna be gassing him up, telling him he's the coldest.
They gonna tell him he a bum. That's what they gonna do. They gonna say, bro, you a bum, man. You can't go out with us. You ain't got no money.
Or they gonna be in the same boat he's in. They gonna be the dudes that he play with online. He's not really gonna hang around dudes like us. You know what I'm saying?
No, because that reality.
Not gonna hang around those, like the dudes that got stuff going on for something. He's not gonna really be hanging with those dudes, like you just said. He's gonna be hanging with the other dudes playing video games, smoking weed, and eating Cheetos in their mom's basement.
Yeah. Hey, you remember y'all ever heard this saying? If you hang with 5 broke people, you gonna be the 6th one.
Yeah.
Y'all ever heard something like that? The same holds true for, you know, anything and any way of thinking that the majority of your friends have. If you hang out with 5 hoes, guys that's hoes, or girls that's hoes, you gonna be the 6th one. They are going to encourage you and push you to do certain things that they are doing to keep up with their lifestyle. It is what it is. But this is why so many women are at a disadvantage in the dating world when it comes to men, especially when they get older. See, men, we have to make adjustments, right, to certain things as we start dating, or else we can't get women. Yeah, we can't get women if we don't make those adjustments. Women don't have to make any adjustments to themselves in order to get sex from men, because mainly that's what they get. And the attention of men. All they have to do is go outside. So when they get done with one guy, it's always another guy right behind them offering them the attention and sex. So they never get a chance to really understand, and they don't date quality men. So they never understand what it is that quality men want. Then when they get 30,
but
35,
you know what?
and actually...
Anytime a quality man tells them about the things that men dislike,
they don't like it.
Unpleasant to date. Oh, who hurts you? Oh, you just bitter.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. It gets dismissed like it's not true.
Right. So then when they actually meet a quality man, they ruin it because they don't know what he wants, and nor do they care. Most of them only know what a man wants in the physical form. That's why they spend thousands and millions of dollars a year on their hair. They get their makeup, they get their lashes, they get their nails, but the mental is still bare. Ain't no makeup, it ain't done up, it ain't did no work on it. It's all outward because they know men like physical things, right? And what they see. They don't know what a man likes internally, nor do a lot of them care, because when you talk to them about being submissive, it's a problem. When you talk to them about being cooperative, it's a problem. Or needing a man in their life, it's a problem. Those are things that most men want from a woman, and a lot of these women don't care because they know that the sexual attention is going to be there. And that's why they mess themselves up in the dating world. So
yeah, I mean, it's like they missed the fundamental point. Like we always talk about the dating market. Well, in any market system, it's the consumers that decide whether something is worth spending their money on, whether a restaurant is worth going to, or a club is worth, you know what I'm saying? Like in the dating market, men are the ones shopping for husbands and wives, because most women are not about to propose to no man. They're not about to walk up to no dude in the club and shoot they shot. So the way that their system is set up, they have to try to hope that the type of men that they like shoots his shot. And unfortunately, a lot of them think and operate in ways that don't get them viewed as wife material by the men that they view as husband material.
You know what it is?
There's a lot of women, they just aren't ready for a quality husband material man.
No,
right?
they're not.
They might have the looks, but they don't have the mentality to keep that kind of guy. And that's the problem, because how many videos do we see where a woman says, damn, when I was 25, 26 years old, I had this quality man, and you know what? I ran him off, 10 years
Over
after.
the bag.
Yep.
They running them off even more now. Because the mindset, the mentality of the world today for the women has completely,
and men is went down.
And men, but the men, but the women are the ones more than the men that want to get married. You know what I'm saying? That's out here like following the dating pages and all those types of things. Now it's flipping around even more, man, and it's messing them up even more with this here city girl, I could be a hoe too type of attitude. And the men are saying, hey, you know what? Go ahead and do that. You're free to do that. I'm going to go overseas, Passport Bros. I'm going to go get these other women over here. This is what the men are doing. They saying, okay, you don't want to be what we want in a woman, then we'll go and get it from another type of woman then. And then the women are mad about that. They want to shame you and insult you for going to get other types of women, even though they don't want to give you what it is that you want, but they definitely want what they want from you. They can tell you that all day. So, I don't have any sympathy for them, man, when it comes to a lot of these here women, because a lot of them don't care what it is that the men want, and they let us know that every day on social media.
All right, man. Let's keep the ball rolling, man. This next post that I wanted to talk about, it's a clip from the Chocolate Chip and Sip podcast, where they're talking about a lack of intimacy, and that being causing problems for women when it comes to reaching their orgasm. Let's take a listen.
So you got men who are willing to blow your back out but won't kiss you in your mouth. And I think that lack of intimacy right there is another reason why she's not climaxing. So she's out here thinking like, yeah, I'm a real ass. I move like these guys. I can date. I can have sex. I can have multiple partners and be fine. Not realizing that the core part of you still wants that piece of intimacy and you're not getting it, which is why you're not able to get there no matter what he's doing. Either way, like I think those important pieces is what's missing, because that's just not a part of what our society is right now.
It's interesting. When I saw this clip, I wanted to discuss it because we talked before about not kissing women. But the reasoning behind it is drastically different. I didn't even think about women lacking the intimacy or wanting to be kissed and all that type of stuff. But me personally, I know when I was single, I would smash a lot of chicks, but it was very few chicks that I would kiss or tongue kiss. But it was mainly because that caused women to catch feelings and start trying to pressure you into relationships. So I did it as a kind of a safety mechanism. Like, man, we can smash and we can keep it cool. But if I was kissing you while I was up in them guts and Jodeci in the background, I would feel like I was sending mixed messages.
Message.
Man, I always had Jodeci in the background, man. You know what I'm saying? I always had some Jodeci in the background.
Soundtrack matters, man. Soundtrack matters.
Hey, man. Yeah. But I get it though. I mean, a lot of dudes, ain't into kissing like that. Mainly, I think most dudes not into kissing like that when they having sex with a chick is if they like in a hoe phase. And they just, you know what I'm saying, going out there smashing chick, because I can't see a dude, actually having feelings for a chick, that being his woman or his wife or whoever, and he loved this woman and he can't kiss her while they having sex. I just can't see that personally. I think it's silly that you will have sex with this here woman that you love and then you can't kiss her. But I understand it for guys that's in their whole phase, because
it's not love.
yeah, like this here chick, I mean, you know, she probably out here doing her thing too. So you don't want to be, you know, slobbing on chick down like that. But I mean, that's just what it is, right?
You
I mean,
kissing her on social media
Yeah.
pictures and shit. Yeah.
Oh no, that's the worst. That's the worst, man. You on
Somebody
on
else
social
off.
media kissing a hoe? No way. Cause hey man, I'm sure we all done been there where, you know what I'm saying, like you see a chick and she be with her dude and you be like, yo. It happened to me as a youngster. Well, I was like, she just left my crib. I was like 23 or something. And she had just left my house. And I saw her at the mall with her guy. I didn't even know she had a guy. Hugged up with him. And I'm like, oh, buddy. Like, you don't want to be that guy. You know what I'm saying? That's why when you just out here running around, you ain't tongue kissing no chicks, man. So I get it. But also, you know, in the world, only like 30% of women like orgasm. Like most of the time, 70% of women don't even be orgasming, man, when they having sex. So that intimacy part,
a lot more comes from oral sex,
clitoral, clitoral
tongue
stimulation,
tongue and hand, direct clitoral stimulation compared to penetration. So I think that has something to do with it as well. But if you want some fuckboy shit, I know dudes that could convince every chick that they smash, that they love her, you my girlfriend, that type of stuff. Those are usually the type of whole face dudes that'll tongue kiss a chick and give her a hickey so other dudes, you know what I mean? Like they do stuff like that. Like they be doing the most. I was always more discreet with it, but I realized that how you move, you'll get accused of doing boyfriend stuff and leading the chick on. If you do, like it's a couple things that I had to stop doing.
That's be your face, man.
Like you in missionary, you can't be gripping hands and interlocking your fingers, whispering in her ear, like just little stuff like that encourage the catching feelings and the undesired behavior after the sex. You gotta do what you can to deter that, fellas.
Man, listen, forget that. Forget that. Like, you know, you can't go into it half doing the job, man. You know, she gonna run your name through the mud. You know what I'm saying? You gotta put that work in while you're there. Like, you gotta put that work in, man. So she come back. If you don't put that work in, now when you go outside and be like, yeah, that's him over there. He was weak, man. He was weak. Nah, bro, you gotta do that. But that intimacy thing, like back to that real quick. You know, women just a lot different from us. A lot of them require a lot more to get them warmed up and ready. Whereas a lot of men, man, look, we ain't even gotta. It don't really require nothing but the wind to blow sometime, and you like, all right, bet, let's do it.
I got a quick question for y'all, since y'all both single. Is a kiss after the first date still a thing in 2023?
A kiss? Man,
yeah,
look,
like,
if I ain't sucking your toes at the end of the first date, you gotta go. You gotta go. No, I'm joking. But I mean, you know what? I don't even really think about it, I guess. You know, like I wouldn't even pay it too much attention. You just go with the vibe, go with the flow, see how things go. If it go that way, it go that way. If not, it's all good. Like I don't push it like I used to when I was in my whole phase. Like I would kind of push it, you know what I'm saying? To try to get things moving a certain way into that sexual realm. Yeah, but you know, now I just be, you know, you got to do things a little more chill because you deal with a different caliber woman than you did when you were in your younger days. At least, you know.
Yeah, I would say the same thing.
I would say the same thing. Like that wouldn't kiss on the first. I mean, I would just go more so see what the vibe is and go off where her vibe is. I mean, because you'll know on the first date if she's feeling you or not, or if there's gonna be a second date after. You'll know.
Yeah, I mean, ain't no grown man get this about no kiss though. Like I don't think. Like,
hey, I've seen dudes. I mean, we know that we got a generation of dudes that are lack emotional control and are super thirsty, etc. They addicted to porn, so they expect real life to, you know, mimic porn and all that. So they would be very upset. Like they would block a chick and cut a chick off for not having sex on the first date, even though that's a very foolish dating strategy. You know what I mean? Like
they not really trying to date though.
I mean, well, even if you're not trying to just date, but getting like if you, I always looked at it like if a chick was attractive enough for me to holler at and shoot my shot, I want to smash as many times as I can. So even if we don't smash on date 1 or 2, as long as we 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, you know what I'm saying? Like long as we get to that point where we on that level, I'm not about to ruin it prematurely. And I think a lot of guys do ruin dating situations by being too thirsty or trying to pressure forward too fast. You know, like they'll bring it up on the first conversation, and so when we get together, well, we gonna do this, and I'm gonna do this to you. Like,
Terry,
it'd be like,
you know what it is?
It's I think a lot of these dudes today, especially some of these young dudes, they just lack game. Like, you know what I'm saying? You approach it a certain way. SD, you know, you approach that a certain way. You know, I approach it with, you know, we all approach it with a level of the game. These dudes just ain't got no game whatsoever.
They be like, hey, so what's your favorite position? And you be like, man, I just met you. What you mean your favorite position? Like the guys nowadays, like, tell me I'm lying. Like the dudes nowadays is a lot more. I think they're a lot more thirsty now because they can be through social media. They can be a lot more thirsty, you know what I mean? And tell this chick online that, hey, I want to eat gummy bears out your booty hole or something. And they say this type of stuff online. So then when they meet a chick in real life, they think that it's okay. So they say certain things, man, that's just way out in left field or to completely ruin it.
Fellas, the things that you say to a woman that shapes how your image is in the streets, man. Especially if you use DMing and sending dick pics. Bro, you send that to enough chicks, your name's gonna be mud in the streets. You know what I'm saying? Like, so just your reputation matters when it comes to stuff like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's a very horrible way to approach sex these days. You know what I'm saying? Like, the only type of women that's really gonna work on are the type that usually ain't attractive or make a living involving sex.
Man, it's a good thing, you know, my stuff got out there before social media came around. I tell you that. I'm glad I got that out my system before social media came around, boy. Don't Google my name. Hey, man. But, hey, being thirsty will knock you out of a lot of situations with women, man. I think we all have probably been there at some point where we was a little too excited to be dealing with a chick, and you overdid it with something you said. Most of the times it's something that we say that'll completely turn the chick off, and the chick might be rolling with you. She might be ready to get down with you, but you say something, man, that's, you know, throw it way out there, and she like, nah, I can't deal with this dude. He's too thirsty.
Man.
Say it again.
I said, yeah, don't talk
yourself out of some pussy, man.
Yeah, it happens. It happens. Yeah. So, you know.
All right, man. Look like we up against the clock. We about to take a quick break. When we come back, we're gonna be getting into our topic of the night. Make it make sense. We're gonna be discussing and criticizing the advice that we see given out to men on social media, and how it doesn't make logical sense. So y'all are tuned into the Ho to Husband podcast. We'll be back in a minute. Hi, I'm relationship coach and author Terry Duran, and I am pleased to announce that my book, It's Not That Complicated, is finally available as an audiobook. So if you don't like to read, or you just don't have time to read a paperback book, this audiobook is perfect for you. You can listen to it while you're in your car, while you're at work, etc. In the book, I break down how husband material men think and operate in regards to sex, love, and relationships, and I provide real quality insight on how husband material men approach dating. The audiobook is available on audible.com and on iTunes. All you have to do is go to one of the websites and search for my name, Terry Duran. Go download your copy today. All right, everybody, welcome back to the Ho to Husband podcast. Tonight's episode is titled Make It Make Sense. And we want to address some of the advice that we see that is being given out to guys on social media and the internet. So a viral video went out of Steve Harvey, sharing his thoughts about relationships on Club Shay Shay's podcast. Let's take a listen.
That's what's wrong with this generation today. These young boys today, what do she bring to the table? The hell you mean, man? What do your ass bring to the table? You got a woman that can come to the table that can make another you. What else she need to slide up to the table with? What about your job? What happened to men who were supposed to be responsible? Do you know that it's our job to take care of a woman and some children, to have a family? That's our damn job.
All right. Now, I got several DMs about this. I even posted it on my page. Anytime you get one of these, men need to do more. Men need to take care of women. You're going to get a massive response from women because it's telling them exactly what they already think and feel. So I'll say this. I do agree that it is a man's fundamental purpose to be able to provide for him and his children or family if he decides to create one. You're not obligated to have a family. You could be a bachelor, you could be single, you could do whatever you want to do. But to make it seem like all a woman has to bring to the table is the ability to have a baby is silly.
Ridiculous.
Like that is an asinine concept, because in order for a man to get in a position to take care of a family, it takes a lot of effort. That's something that usually starts as a teenager. And to think that a man is, hey, can you have a baby? Then that's all you need to bring to the table. Man, you've got to be a damn fool to even think that will work in real life.
Bro, this don't even make no sense. But when you look at the comments, what do you see? A bunch of praise from women. Oh, the boys ain't gonna like this. Yes, this is what we talking about. And then, but this is what hurts them so much, and they can't see it. They can't see it.
Blind to it,
call
bro.
it out. Like
Blind
the
to
last thing that these women need is somebody telling them that they don't need to bring nothing to the table but they womb. That's it. What? And I asked the question. I said, what if he don't want somebody that's like him? What if he don't want no kids? Most of these women, the age for getting married now is creeping up and up. Most of these women is 35, 40, whatever. They looking for men in their upper 40s and 50s. These men ain't trying to have no kids, so then what? What do you have to fall back on? These women here already don't think that they should.
And if they do, they will go for a much younger woman.
Right, but I'm saying they already think that they can think how they want, be how they want, talk how they want, and do everything how they want. And then all you gotta do is show up to have a baby. Because you gotta have a baby, you gonna get married. That ain't worked for y'all in all these years. We got the most babies out of anybody out here. And you still ain't married. But nobody's critically thinking about what he's saying. The women, a lot of the women, not all of them, but a lot of them aren't critically thinking, because all it does is hold men's feet to the fire. Yes, a man should be able to provide for his family, and he should want to do that for the woman that he asked to marry him. Absolutely, 100%. But you better come to the table wanting to do things for me also. You better come here nurturing. You better come here submissive. You better come here feminine. You better come here wanting to cater to me as a man, as the woman in my life, like I want to cater to you as the woman in mine. If you ain't coming here with that, keep it over there, because I don't want your baby. Forget you and that baby, because I don't want them either. I don't want them. Keep them kids over there. If we were younger, cool. But at this particular point, you got to come with something else, because you definitely want me to come with all of, you want me to come with provision. You want me to come with protection. You want me to come with leadership, guidance, direction, and discipline for you, for these here kids, if you do have them. But all you got to come in with a stomach and a cervix and fallopian tubes? No, ma'am. No, thank you. You can keep it. But this is the stuff that he sells them and makes millions of dollars off of.
Yeah, I mean, he's just reinforcing what Elijah Woodward's disposition already is. I mean, listen, we already know Steve Harvey is basically the godfather of pandering. I mean, that Think Like a Man birthed all these panderers that you see on the internet today, right? Like, oh, it's a man's job. Like, he's making these vague blanket statements. It's a man's job to just provide and take care of a woman. Like Terry said, it's his job to take care of his family, a family that he has with her, and kids that he has with that woman, but it's not his job just come in and say, okay, I want to take care of women just because I'm a man. Like, that makes no sense.
And she can have a baby.
And it's annoying, just because anytime I see somebody, majority of panderers only focus on telling men what they need to do. And you need to do this, and you need to do this, and men need to improve it. Like they constantly focus on blaming everything on men and intentionally avoiding discussing the things that women do that sabotage their dating relationships, that make them unpleasant to date, that get them viewed as somebody that is not wife material to the type of caliber of guy that they actually want. And we see that a lot of women don't want to put in the work. And on top of that, they're not even appreciative of the things that they. Man, from my side dude days, I know several women that had men that were providing for them. Nice cribs, luxury car, driving a Benz, providing them with and they was still sucking me up in their office and let me blow their back out. So what were they getting for it? What, because she had his kids? You know what I'm saying? Like that's not a automatic benefit for a guy. And it's just frustrating that there's so many people that paint it like that's what's missing in relationships.
I mean, second here, if I can interject, Steve goes with the pandering stuff that you're talking about. They've created, for the better part of the past decade, they created a whole cottage industry of pandering to women. They know it's pandering and telling what the women what they want to hear, and they're never going to hold the women accountable because they know these women are going to buy their products and their services that they're getting really nothing out of. Not no tangible results. It just makes them feel good.
Bro, panders on the internet are like preachers. The churches is full of a bunch of single women trying to find their Boaz, giving their money to the preachers. The preachers, panderers are like preachers, like and just like corporations. Women buy 80% or 70 to 80% of all things in the United States. That's why so much stuff is pushed towards women, because women think with feelings. Yeah, they think and buy more with feelings. They're feelings-based buyers, whereas men think more logically, like, I don't need this, I don't need that, why would I buy it, right? A lot of men are more like that. That's why they market so many things to women. Panderers are the same way. They market things and say things to make the women seem like they up here and the men seem like they up here. And if they do say something to women to try to hold them accountable, it's real slight. And they take it and turn it around to where it's the man's fault. Do you know where you messed up at? Let me tell you where you messed up at. You dealt with a man that wasn't ready. You dealt with a man that wasn't emotionally intelligent. You dealt with a man that couldn't provide. That's where you messed up. But it ain't really nothing that's hidden to her points. It's all really circled right around back to the man's fault and not hers for maybe being impatient, trying to rush through things, ignoring the red flags. Don't hit on those particular things because that don't sell like that. Telling them that they are a queen and it's and it's not their fault is what sells. And the women bite it every time they take the bait and go buy the next product from these here people because they can't see what they are doing to them. But then they'll turn around and hate somebody like Kevin Samuels that tell them, hey, this is how men actually think out here that you are going to try to date. Not like this fairy tale land that Steve Harvey is trying to get y'all to believe, like a man going to show up.
They hate you for it, man.
Pay for all of this, and all you got to do is have a baby if he want babies. Like, no, that's stupid. But
women aren't used to that. Like, women aren't
used
to, like, for example, with Kevin Samuels, women aren't used to just men telling, hey, this is what the men want, this is what they like, as opposed to the other men just kind of pandering to what they want to hear. A lot of men used to that.
I mean, and a lot of times, y'all seen in my comments over the years, they'll try to find any reasons to discredit you. You know what I mean? Like, I can't even count the women. They'll be talking shit in my comments, and no woman would ever marry you. You know what I'm saying? And then they don't realize how stupid they look. Because I've been married almost 20 years. And so it's really annoying, coming from the perspective of somebody that's actually genuinely trying to help, actually providing a real perspective on how things actually go. Because from a male perspective, you don't have to be rich and famous to have a successful life. I'm not rich and famous, but I think over 90% of women would sign up for the lifestyle that I provide because the bills are paid, we living pretty comfortable, we can go do what we want to do, and we got things set up for the future. You know what I mean? Like, so that is what most women claim that their relationship goals are. Unfortunately, they think and operate in a way that almost guarantees it won't happen.
Yeah. And you know what, man? Telling women that all they got to do is be able to make another him and have a baby. It's like telling men all you got to have is money. All you got to have.
A lot
is
of dudes that
finance.
think that.
That's it.
It's a lot of guys that think. Well, wait, boy, we'll take that back. See, situations like that, right? There's a small bit of truth to that. A dude with money, he can be fat, he can be ugly, he can be lame, but he can still pay for a section and fly some attractive chick to come out and pay her to fuck him. Yep. So essentially, he could get all those things. It just won't be for the same reasons that a dude with looks or swag would get it.
You know what? Just to piggyback,
so let me tell me what y'all think real quick, right? I think men who do that, try to use their money. I think a lot of those men, use money to compensate for a lack of game. What are your thoughts on that, fellas?
Of course, money is easy to pick up women with.
Make up all your deficiencies.
Yeah, that's what money do for men, like looks do for women. It's just the opposite. Women that's got horrible attitudes and all that, let them have a big booty. Dudes will be like, man, forget that attitude. I want to sit up on that booty.
And you'll see a fat ass 400-pound dude in the strip club buying bottles, but you got 3 strippers around. You know what I'm saying? Like, he knows what he has to do to even get the women to come around. I mean, look at Biggie. You know what I'm saying? Like, looks, a guy's looks are not the determining factor on whether or not you're going to have success with women or not.
No.
It largely has to do with your persona, your swag, and your income level. The guys that don't have the income have to learn the trials and errors on what to say, what not to say, where you should go, how you should move, where you should be at in the club, at the bar, except those type of things. But man, a dude could be a lame all through high school and become a crypto millionaire and be smashing all the baddies in town. You know what I mean?
They getting rid of them crypto billionaires, bro. They dropping like fly. But hey, listen, I will agree with him on one thing, man, and that's the change in mindset when it comes to providing, right? We got a change in mindset now with a lot of young dudes, right? I talk about it a lot, on my page, like the guys that go out with women and then ask them to split the bill while they at the date, or that's stuff crazy, like that, or ask them to go 50-50 on bills, whatever the case. Some people have to do that because they don't make a lot of money. So it is kind of a change in the guard when it comes to that stuff. Whereas when we grew up, I would never think about asking a woman to go 50-50 on a date bill. I go out with her or whatever. And I'm like, yo, split this bill with me. Like, I never think about that. So I get that type of thing that's going on now.
That's energy that comes when you with your homies. And it's like, how much is it? Like 60. I'm gonna cash out you $35 or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and sometimes we don't even do that. But my point is, like, but it's just, I get what he's saying, but not requiring anything of women is the danger in what he's saying. That's the danger for especially our women, because he's black. That's his main audience is black women, and they are the least married woman in the United States at only 25%. 75% of them are not married, and the majority of them want to be. So what he's saying is dangerous for them because they already
productive.
Yes, they already are having a hard time getting a man to marry them as it is. Then you tell them, hey, all you got to do is be able to have his baby. Well, that's not cutting it nowadays, because men are seeing different things and wanting more out of the women that they give their last name to, especially when, on top of that being the least married, they are also the most divorced and file for divorce the most. So these are things that men see and are like, wait a minute, let me slow down with the marriage thing. And then you turn around with millions and millions of followers following you and tell them that they only have to bring their womb to the table. That's dangerous for our group of women, man. Because it don't require them to work on themselves and make adjustments to themselves in order to get the types of men that they say they want. When those types of men require you to make adjustments to yourself, you can't get with a dude, a top 10%, a top 5% guy without making adjustments to yourself. He ain't going for that. He might blow your back out.
I was just about to say that. They can get
He'll blow your back out for sure.
They can get him to pay for dates and pay for trips.
They
they place a disproportionate amount of value on those type of things. Cause say they dating a dude that's worth millions of dollars. How much is it? How much is $3,500 on a bag to a dude that's worth millions of dollars? We just saw the draft. Like the draft yesterday. The draft, first round of the draft. You get a number one draft pick. You go from broke to worth $22 million overnight. Bro, you can all them chicks from college you couldn't smash last year.
Oh, they ready.
They ready. You know what I'm saying? Like all them chicks
them dudes got massive amount of titties in their DMs right now. Oh, massive amount of titties.
But you know what? Here's the thing. A lot of those women just don't have the wherewithal or self-awareness to see this, right? As, quality men, I think us here, we all have self-awareness. Okay, maybe we're not sufficient at this, but we work to improve that. A lot of these women don't work to really improve that because they confuse sexual attention with, actual guys really wanting them. That's
right. And I think that's part of the negative impact of the social media era, because on one hand, it raised women's perception of themselves because they can post filters, they get compliments, they get likes, and it leads them to believe that they deserve a certain caliber of guy. Then when you combine that people are showing a highlighted version of themselves, it causes so many women to compare things to other people. So a lot of people are making their dating decisions these days based off what social media is going to think. You know what I'm saying? Like, and everything is catered around an image instead of long-term success.
Yeah. And that's just, that's just the way it is, man. And that's what's hurting them out here. But they can't see it. And when you try to tell them about it, you normally are met with insults or shame. Like Kevin Samuels used to say, when you talk to them about certain things in certain ways that it's going to hurt them out here, when it comes to getting a certain caliber man, they insult you, call you gay. How many times, they call him gay? Or who hurt you? That's another one. Or, you must be broke, or you're dusty, or something like that, just for trying to steer them in the right direction. Well, if as men, if we can't help you or help correct you, then a lot of men say, okay, I'm done. I throw my hands up to it because I can't help you. I have tried to help you. I have tried to steer you back on the right course.
Think about this, though, right? You talked about the women that have kids, right? So if a woman can't take no correction, you can't say nothing to her without her playing the victims. Don't yell at me. Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, how are you gonna discipline her kids? How are you supposed to be the man of the household, right? Like, so why would a guy with common sense sign up for that?
He won't. Because like I said, I said on here a bunch of times, I like women with kids. But let me tell you something. If that kid ain't in order and I can't talk to you, I can't correct you, I can, respectfully correct you and correct your child, I'm out. I'll holler at you later. Because this is a lose-lose for me. That's how smart men look at it. But the majority of men will still hit you next to your baby bed. They'll still smash you next to the crib while the baby is asleep. Because, hey, whatever, ain't my baby. That's how most men gonna look at it. And then they'll leave you on about your business. And they don't understand men. That's why they lose out here. They don't get men.
it's so annoying. Like when you see all the stuff that go viral and all the stuff that get reposted on Shade Room and Spiritual Word and all that. Anytime it's somebody telling men to do some bullshit, it goes viral. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yep.
since when did men trying to make sound decisions on who they marry and have kids by become a bad thing? Like if a dude just out here making babies, don't we criticize him? Don't we talk about how reckless that behavior is and how problematic it is? So when we have people like that are on social media, influencers or relationship experts or whatever, talking about the only thing that men need to do is pay 100% of the bills, we see billionaires get divorced every day.
He was one.
Paying all the bills ain't a guarantee to success. That does not guarantee a woman is going to love you, respect you, or that a man's needs are actually going to be met. So it's just frustrating to see that narrative constantly being pushed.
Yeah, but that's what they do, man.
That's the same. Yep, and that's the same reason why a lot of these women think they are beyond reproach.
Hey, man.
Unfortunately, they are, man. But society as a whole is gonna suffer. Like the marriage rate is seriously declining. You know what I'm saying? Like
for us.
Yeah, I mean,
it's big business.
A culture of single people that just go out and smoke hookah and have drinks and all that. That's not really the best thing for our community, you know, as a whole.
No, that's why we at the bottom of the list for household income. We at the bottom. Because most of our households are single people, and over half of men, half of the black men, and half of the black women only barely earn $50,000. Barely. So the median household income gonna be low for black folks because we not together. Whereas together, you got 50, now you got 100. Now you sitting up there with the white folks and their median household income. But a lot of women see that as a downgrade. Man, getting with a man that's right there at their equal like that, they see that as a downgrade, even though they only making $50,000. They still see him as a loser a lot of times. So that's where we failing at.
It's a lot of misinformation being out here, you know. But I was brain warped into it. I remember when I was a teacher and I was broke. You always hear the 6 figures, right? And so I always thought once I got to 100,000, my life, I'm gonna be straight. I'm gonna be, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, once I get to 6 figures, I'm Gucci. Man, you jump to that next tax bracket, and that shit just like 70. You know what I'm saying? Like,
hey man, listen. Listen, I remember when I was 24, and I tried not to make $100,000 at 24.
Really?
Because they taxed me different. They taxed
you was working as a
single.
Yeah. Yeah, I was 24, bro. When this here start all that other time, you know, I was at 80, at 90, at 23, 22, whatever. And then 24, I was like, man, I can't work this. I can't do this here. I was taking off work so I wouldn't make 100. It wouldn't work. And I was like, God, dog. And they hit me tough too. So, I mean, you know, it's one of them things, bro, but I was single. You had a family. So it was a little different for you. Me, I was buying motorcycles, Mercedes, buildings. Like I was property. Like I was doing things.
You were styling profile in the streets of Chicago.
I can't imagine being single making that kind of money. That's
back then too. You talking 16, 17 years ago. So, you know, man, and listen, that's why I was
mid-2000s.
That's why I was able to be. That's why I was holding. Like I had cash. I had the toys, the Benzes, the motorcycles, and all this stuff. Like it was easy. Yeah, it was easy to pick up women, man. Like it was like taking candy from a baby. Plus, I could talk, and I was decent. So, I mean, it's one of them things, man. But if you ain't taking care of your money, 100,000 feel like 50.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely don't stretch as far as you think, especially with the inflation and the way things are now. That's why this whole concept of a man, you should just be able to pay all of a woman's expenses. And like, bro, you know how unrealistic that is. You know what I'm saying?
I
Just because you can, don't mean you're gonna do it for a random chick, especially if she's not bringing the things that you want to the table. Yeah, you know, like
a random.
So, or just a woman that's fine that can have kids.
No way. Like, no thing. I mean, don't get me wrong. I can do it comfortably, but I won't. You ain't got no substance about you, none. And I'm supposed to do this because you can have kids. Like I said, forget your kids. I don't want none. No way. I don't care nothing about that. What else you got? Like, that's the way I look at it now, man. It's a privilege to deal with me now. So if that's all you got, you can't even ride with me. Sorry.
All right, man. Look like we up against the clock, y'all. We about to get up out of here. Before we go, I want to give another shout out to my man, Brother Soul Productions, for keeping us laced with our background audio. I want to remind y'all to continue supporting the podcast through our Cash App and our PayPal. JSD, man, I appreciate y'all. We had some timing issues this week, but I appreciate y'all linking up with them so we can get the episode knocked out. This has been another episode of the Ho to Husband Podcast, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.